Hello, my name's Jim Howard. Today is September 3rd, 2010. Going to try to make this fast. I've been following since the beginning the case of the lieutenant colonel in the United States Army who's also a doctor, who's a birther. He does not believe that President Barack Obama is the legitimate president of the United States. He thinks I don't know, was born in Kenya or on Venus or something. I first became aware of the situation by this YouTube video that the doctor made.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin, an active duty Army physician in my 18th year of active uniformed service to our country. I want you to know reasons why I feel I have no choice but the distasteful one of inviting my own court-martial. For the first time in all my years of service to our great nation, and at great peril to my career and future, I am choosing to disobey what I believe are illegal orders, including an order to deploy to Afghanistan for my second tour of duty there. I will disobey my orders to deploy because I, and I believe all servicemen and women, and the American people deserve the truth about President Obama's constitutional eligibility to the office of the presidency and the commander-in-chief. If he is ineligible, then my orders, and indeed all orders, are illegal.
So there you have it. I'll put the link to that video, but you probably already have seen it. So I put that video on my blog, and I put my comments on my blog about that. When I first saw him, he's in the military for 18 years. I sort of felt sorry for him, but on the other hand, he's politically, this is a political motive. A thing, and also it's a stupid thing. And I've had people leave comments on my blog saying, defending him, long, lengthy things, defending him, saying it's not stupid and that everything. But I've been following it, and he went to whatever the military. He's being court-martialed. He's facing up to 48 months in prison, dishonorable discharge, losing all of his benefits. And a dishonorable discharge is a really bad thing to have on your record. Then I decided, okay, I just positively didn't feel sorry for this guy because of a website was created and because of his supporters just being totally nuts, and saying things that are just wild and crazy. I didn't think that he had a chance at all just zero chance of being successful in any way. So he's had his appearance before the judge or whatever, and he didn't enter a plea. Like, he's keeping his options open or whatever. And they're getting ready for I think later this month, I believe. But, which I expected, the judge, military officer and judge in this case, has already ruled that because this guy, he or his defense attorney demanded and requested that the President of the United States appear as a witness, at his trial. And of course the military judge will know that will not happen. And not only that, but the judge, of course, which everybody sort of knew, I guess except his supporters, that he will not even be allowed to use in his defense the thing that the president is not the president and commander-in-chief. His trial is going to be strictly, did you receive orders to deploy to Afghanistan? Yes or no. Did you refuse to show up and deploy to Afghanistan? Yes or no. And it's an open and shut. So he's looking at, looking at years in prison at hard labor. Of course, he's a doctor, so I think they probably put him in the infirmary to use his talents and skills. But it's not looking good for him at all. But his supporters, since this was announced yesterday that he's not going to be able to use this as a defense, his supporters are in a rage. They're foaming at the mouth. They are really upset because they, I think, thought that this was going to be some type of a show trial, that they were going to be able to have the President of the United States ordered to appear in the docket and answer questions, and they were going to be able to hold up fake Kenyan document that said that the president was actually born in Kenya. And just, I mean, they just thought that. And then I think too, these people are so kind of deranged that they thought, oh well, once the American people, and I mean, these are a very small number of people, and even the people who are totally opposed to Barack Obama and hardcore Republicans and John McCain and others, even they go, no, we don't want to get anywhere near these birther people. We have no, they don't have any support at all from legitimate sources. It's just kind of a wild fringe people, but they are really enraged. So I think what's going to happen is now. I saw a comment, and the comment sort of, I think that's it. I've been, what's with this guy? I mean, a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army, a doctor. Why would he do this? And there was somebody who made a comment on a site, and it was a pro, actually. The site is pro for this guy. But it was the comment, down in the comment section, this guy said that he thought that the colonel was misled by people around him and friends and supporters and that type of stuff. I think that's it. I know it's hard to believe, but this guy, he's an officer in the United States Army and a doctor. I think that he's one of these people, when they have these crimes, or sometimes they have a crime that is really just outrageous, where a couple people murder somebody. They, what was the one back in the 30s or whatever, where the two young rich guys, 17, 18-year-old, murdered the, 14-year-old or 12-year-old kid, and whatever. And there's other cases like that, and you have a case of two people, and one of them is somebody who just goes along with the situation, and the person may be, like in that case back in the 30s or whatever, both those guys were extremely bright. And you kind of wonder, and I think that must be the situation here, this Lieutenant Colonel Lakin, whatever. He must have been sitting around with his buddies, fellow officers, in the mess hall, and they must have been talking about making nigger jokes or something, and people saying, oh yeah, whatever, and he must have come up with this. Well, others probably had the same idea, Barack Obama is not even the commander-in-chief, he's not a legitimate president. And maybe other people said, oh yeah, you're right, and they must have encouraged him or something, and he just must be one of those people who goes along with it. And that's all I can figure, because it's totally insane. And he is facing, in the United States, probably in other countries too, I mean, he's facing a felony. He's facing prison time at hard labor. That's the way the military does it, at hard labor, at probably Fort Leavenworth in Kansas. But in the United States, I was a security officer in Kansas City, Missouri for about 30 years. And just a security officer. You could not get a license to be a security officer if you had a dishonorable discharge from the military. I'm not sure he can get a medical license in some states it's getting a dishonorable discharge. That's something you don't want. So what I expect now with the situation the way it is now, unless these people around him, his defense people and a few people around him, unless they have totally brainwashed this guy, he should make a deal now. Whatever he can get, out of the military, forfeiture of pay and benefits, which is really, 18 years of pension gone, and he makes $8,000 a month. I'm not sure whether, 2 more years he could retire. I'm not sure how the military works, whether you get 20% or whether you get 50% of your pay or whether you get 80%. I'm not sure how that. I'm sure the longer you stay in, the more it is, but 20 years is the point. So he's going to suffer big time. But what he needs to do is he needs to cut a deal and get out with the best that he can get out with. I'm sure he can avoid prison time if he, but I am not sure he can avoid a dishonorable discharge and forfeiture of all benefits. And that's a pretty big thing. So anyway, I just want to put my 2 cents in on this subject.